Get this on the Triple M network.
I did mention, of course, that you're listening to Get This.
And please take notice, all you so-called broadcasters out there. This is the way you should broadcast.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rex.
That's right. Yeah. Because we are on the home stretch.
But every moment on air, we commit to the audience and put the best possible product to air.
Yeah, that's true. We're committed to bringing you a top product every day.
If you haven't got the right product, your business will go down. You need good, fresh ingredients to bake the best cake.
Ouch! I have to take these headphones off, I think.
I like to think that he just heckles bakers with that. Dung, 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 dung. You need the best ingredients. Bake a fresh cake.
All right, we know.
Call this a profiterole.
Can you stop knocking on our alleyway window, please?
Anyway, we have got a big cake coming up. Ed Cavalier has a fantastic new segment.
And woe betides anyone who has the hide to criticise it.
That's right.
Thank you, Rex.
Woe betides anyone.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Is it like low tide?
These are excerpts from a recent Rex Hunt editorial on another station, one that clearly loves its comedy. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand a word that Rex Hunt is talking about, but I just love hearing him say it.
Some of the so-called football being dished up on the field at the moment is cheap, nasty, and downright boring. Some of the chippy, crappy stuff is an insult to people who pay for the game. Hey, and that's you people out there listening to this.
Me?
You pay either through the turnstiles or by listening to us or watching the game on TV or buying the newspapers. You pay.
Wait a second. I'm paying for chippy crap?
Apparently.
I'm paying money.
I'm paying money for chippy crap by buying a newspaper.
Was this editorial recorded on a day when the transmitter was down? Was he just standing on the roof of the station with a rolled-up newspaper?
Come down, Rex. You've been up for an hour. 2 hours, actually.
He's attacked the game for being chippy, crappy gear.
It is.
And, hey, the broadcasters, they cop it as well.
Now, I am really concerned, not for my future, because Lynn and I have mapped that out, and that's private, thank you very much. But I'm concerned for the game and the next crop of broadcasting puppets. Yes, you, Ferret, who had to try for 6 hours to talk up a game that has become boring and far-fetched from the good old-fashioned spirit of Aussie rules. I was born and spawned on this game in Bay 13, selling and eating Dixie ice creams, and then through guts and hard work, ran onto this great arena.
I like to think he's got an actual ferret. Now listen to me, ferret. It's like I told that cat and that rabbit. Okay, so he was spawned and born in Bay 13 at the MCG.
It's very hygienic up there.
He should rebirth himself at every half time of a game. And now, Rex Hunt is born again. Push, I tell ya! Push! Come almost through!
Give birth to me. Don't sit back rolling a fat cigarette waiting for the next handout with the deadbeats and losers from the scallop industry. All right. We have more Get This coming up, and it definitely won't be
Cheap, nasty, and downright boring.
Yes, let's admit it. Bob Franklin dropped a magic word on this program the other day.
Naughty.
Says the Sydney Morning Herald, a quick recovery by Tony Martin or a bit of mischief?
No.
That's what Triple M executives were wondering. No, it wasn't planned.
It wasn't.
Try and plan something with Bob Franklin. See how far you get. I made a movie where he was the co-lead. We could not get him on the phone.
Fair enough.
2 days before filming started.
No, that's okay. I'm comfortable with that. Like, I reckon kids' parties, if you're thinking something explosive for the kiddies, something that they'll talk about forever, get Bob Franklin in, wait for the magic.
That was not planned.
Not planned.
And we wouldn't say that because we don't want to slag off the whole staff here.
No.
Most of the staff here like us.
Well,
There's a couple who don't. There's a couple who are preparing a ticker tape parade.
I slashed a few tyres. Big deal.
Departure.
Why can't a guy slash a tyre anymore?
But by and large, we get on well with people here. So
do
no,
like them.
that
Do
was
like them
not
a lot.
intentional. But if you want to judge whether it was or not, it's in podcast 143. Thank you, Mr. Marsland.
That is hot up there, and I like how it's the only podcast of ours that is marked with the word explicit.
I
And my
know.
mother makes an appearance.
Beautiful. Work that out for yourself. And also,
nickname, isn't it?
a lot of rumours going around about the future of this program. What will happen next? We don't know.
Cruise ships.
Brilliant.
First Star the Fun Ship's coming back.
Normally-
Tony Martin and his persons of interest.
Normally when you get the arse, you have all day to sit around and think about what you're going to do.
what I've
We
been
still
doing.
have a show to do.
Oh, right, okay.
Cheap laughs to bring people for the next 4 weeks. Here's one idea, though, from Patrick McCulloch. He's got 3 spare seats in his car. He wants us to drive to work with him every morning, do the show in the car, and we'll have to chip in for petrol, but it'll help him be allowed to use the carpooling lane. So.
Not bad. I thought you said do the shower there as well. I thought, well, if my next job is to sponge bath a man while he drives to work, that's a step up.
Step up.
It's a step in the right direction.
I know the ARIA Awards were on, and I tried to watch it, but it looked pretty tedious to me.
Oh, come on, Tone.
Yeah.
It's Australia's Night of Musical Nights.
Yeah.
And we've got a special ARIAs, I guess you'd call report, wouldn't you, Rich? You got some ARIAs music for me? Something, local? Perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
This is the latest for Hilltop Hoods.
Australian music is so good at the moment, isn't it? I saw that quote from somebody. They didn't look well.
Long flight, Tone. Long flight for Daniel Johns. All right. Well, the ARIAs were last night. Silver Chair, as we mentioned, Daniel Johns got the nod a couple of times. Fantastic work. Hilltop Hoods got an ARIA. And Keith Urban. Keith Urban finally got the ARIA he deserved. He won the ARIA for the only way we can get Nicole Kidman to come to these awards. That's great. Which is great. That's really nice.
Well, surely he didn't get the award for any of his music because, I mean, I don't think there is any, is there really?
Well, not so much.
If we've learnt one thing in 2 years of this show. Okay, I'll tell you why I'm bitter.
Why you bitter?
The Comedy Award, Best Comedy Album of the Year. Who won it? Do we know?
I think Dave Hughes.
Dave Hughes.
Oh, that's great.
Okay, now that's a DVD.
Is it?
I remember the days when the ARIA was for the best comedy album of the
see.
year. They don't have enough
Right.
comedy albums anymore, so they have to bolster the numbers with comedy DVDs.
Okay, Tone.
Now, fine work from Hughesy. Well done. But he was up against...
Frogsack.
That's
Oh,
right.
really?
Frogsack lost.
Frogsack.
Rodney Rude will be back.
Yep.
This stoush isn't over.
And I think Gorcha is doing a CD of Gorcha Calls next year, which will be in the
All
comedy
right,
release.
okay.
The best
Open a
comedy
window,
release yet,
please.
sure.
Please, somebody open a window. Smash one if you have to. All right.
Didn't even get to my joke about the evangelical hip-hop outfit called Hillsong Hoods. Didn't even get there.
Stop. All jokes must go on a Monday.
I'm covered in puns, Tone.
What about, wisdom? It's time for some wisdom here at Get This.
Now, you can't copy the guy's paper next door and say he got all the answers right, and when I copied them, he got all the answers wrong, and when I copied them, they were all right. He's copied the answers.
Sorry, that's Peter Costello, but does that sound a bit like...
It's not a crime at all. Like I said, I can be with Frank today and tell him to shoot you. If he shoots you and I didn't mean to tell him, I'm just joking, they shoot me, just say he shot you.
Don't shoot me, Frank.
That's for sure, but I'm just saying, if I told Frank to jump off the harbour, I've told you mucking around at the front of the harbour bridge, you jump off the harbour bridge and you jump. I don't want you to jump off the harbour bridge.
They're
Really?
virtually indistinguishable these days,
But
Costello and Fennick.
But Fennick's got an excuse. Literally millions of punches to the head. What's Costello's excuse?
Today, Ed's only just arrived. I don't know where he's been. He's flown in, and we got an advance message that today's topic for Talkback Mountain would be, that looks dodgy.
No, that's incorrect, Tony.
Oh, sorry, that's an old idea. This is a new idea.
What looks dodgy?
What looks dodgy?
What looks dodgy, and a lot of people don't know that we actually don't contact each other outside the show. We don't text or call each other.
No, not
We
really.
talk to each other when the microphones are on. So to get a text message from Ed is quite exciting.
quite an
Amazing,
event.
That's right. What was the text message?
This is from this morning. Hey, mate, just to let you know, I'm on a plane back to the show. We'll be there just after 1. My idea for a phone topic is what looks dodgy, because I saw some kids making out in a bush behind a 7-Eleven in Brisbane. What looks dodgy than that? Someone watching a couple of kids making out in a bush behind a 7-Eleven in Brisbane.
There was a few of us watching.
Why were you filming it? That's the part I can't work
I
out.
had to get him to stop and start again because the light was bad.
Of course, one more for sound. All right, is that your what looks dodgy?
Well, it was until I got hold of the Sydney Morning Herald this morning. Tony.
Yeah.
Spare a thought for this bloke.
Yeah.
Have a look at this. Andrew Kwa.
Oh, it's not us, thank God.
No, here we go. Who's been dumped by Family First for the Western Sydney seat of Reid after some photographs of him allegedly parading his private parts appeared on gay websites and emailed around the country.
Doesn't that just happen? How many times have we said this on this show? As soon as someone super religious starts talking about family values, it's like there's 3, 4. Will they be busted in a sex scandal before I get to 10? 6, 7.
Oh, no.
Oh, look, arseless chaps as he walks away from the podium. Sprung bad. Ever since that Jim Backer back in the 80s.
Back in the day.
And Swaggart, remember him?
Oh, yeah, Swaggart.
And
Put it away, Swaggart.
And every one of them, it seems.
Can't help themselves. Well, Quar is protesting his innocence, and fair enough.
Yep, sure.
He said it was possible that he thought he may have posed for the photographs, but he thinks it's highly unlikely. Have a listen to this quote. I might have been drunk off my face, or my political enemies may have drugged me. Which begs the question, who, Richard? Who are these political enemies? All right, and then it got me thinking, which political enemies of Family First are absolutely chockers with drugs? Grey power. This is their new angle. And I'm saying, watch out, Greens and legalise marijuana party. Grey power, they're going to slip you a spiked chamomile tea and then take some photos of your gear. Put it on the internet. This is their new go.
In defence of this bloke, is he not saying that it may have been photoshopped?
Watch this tone. Here we go. One of the shots exposing his private parts as he takes a picture of himself in the mirror. He says, that's not my penis.
Oh, so they've taken someone else's naked penis and grafted it over the top of his own naked penis.
Well, I've got more information on this, Tone. Allegedly, he went on to say, that is not my penis. I've never seen it before. My penis has a tattoo of a smaller penis on it to make it look bigger. I urge the owner of the real penis to come forward.
All right.
And he has.
Has he?
Oh yeah, in the Sydney Press today, there was an interview with a man.
What did the owner?
I'm now going to.
Who's that going to be? I wonder.
It's so weird.
We're going to cross to him now, are we?
I'm Richard, and I'm all about photoshopping my peenie weenie onto politicians' bodies. I've already done Christopher Pine and Maxine McCune. Do you like the Veronicas? I think they're cute as a button.
Politicians. Who are these politicians?
So there's the real owner. So mystery solved, Andrew. You're off the hook.
I've got to learn to go off the record.
Yeah.
I should stop saying my name before every quote.
Hi, Ash. How are you?
Hi guys, how you going?
Excellent. What looks dodgy?
Oh, so I went to a tattoo parlor on Friday.
What'd you get?
I'm getting it. They wouldn't do it. I was too intoxicated to get tattooed.
Oh, they're so mean.
I know. They rejected me, I was pretty devastated. But anyway, there was a man just kicking back out the front, and he had a pair of leather chaps on. And, like, full leathers and all that sort of stuff. And he was just sitting back on this park bench, just drinking a long neck out of a plastic bag.
Wow. And was he handing out how to vote cards for Family First, can I ask?
I wish, because I would vote for them if he was.
All right.
I wish he was a candidate for Melton. And can I just say, guys, too, before I go?
Yes, Ash?
I joined on Facebook the Please Save Get This on Triple M.
Hang on. Ash, that's fine. Did you join Ed Cavalier's a spunk?
I'm going to look for that when I get home.
Right.
And I think
You are Ed Cavalier.
Thanks,
I love
Ash.
you.
Ooh,
the question everyone wants to know is, what was the tattoo that you were too drunk to get? What was it going to be?
I am getting on Friday. I've booked it. I'm getting from Marilyn Manson, Antichrist Superstar, the symbol on the lectern as he's preaching.
Yeah.
Hardcore, brother.
Sweet tats.
Thank you.
I do actually know what that is. It's very good. I've got one on me face. All right. Thank you, Ash. Lovely to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
G'day, guys. How you going?
Ooh, excellent. And what looks dodgy?
The kebab shop down the road from me.
Why?
Why? What have they done?
I don't think they sell kebabs.
Okay.
I went in there.
Okay, now just don't give out an address, but tell us what's happened.
Well, I walked in there. It always seemed empty. I always knew that there was a kebab shop there down the road if I needed one. One night I desperately needed one. Walking down there, and I got into the shop, and I looked at the guy, and I said, can I have a lamb kebab? And he sort of looks at me like, what are you talking about? and I pointed up to the board behind him, and I said, one of those, like the picture. And he looks up and he goes, oh, like he'd never seen one before.
And
but the place seems to be doing a thriving business.
Oh, right.
Were all the staff just wearing balaclavas? Was it something like that?
There seemed to be a lot of cardboard boxes out the back, and I'm not sure what they were.
Okay.
Dodgy DVDs, maybe a lotion ring, I'm not sure.
A lotion ring.
Lotion ring busted.
Joe?
Okay, it's not usually a kebab shop. I've long harboured suspicions against pipe shops.
Right.
I don't mean marijuana pipe shops. I mean Sherlock Holmes style pipe shops.
What do you think's going on?
Well, what can be going on? Who's buying a pipe? How do they stay in business?
Detectives.
Nobody smokes a pipe. There's 3 men in Australia who still smoke pipes.
Gumshoes.
How do you keep a chain of shops alive?
Detectives. Dr. Watson's got to buy them for Holmes for his birthday.
It must be ice.
All right, and on that cheery note, thank you, everyone.
That's right, get this.
It's not negative, it's not dirty, it's not personal, it's true.
Yes.
There you go.
It's a show with so
Mr. Howard
much
gets it.
potential.
Your sense of humour has not failed you.
All right, thank you. George McEncroe is here. Give her a round.
George.
Welcome back,
Lovely
George.
to be here from the very stormy Brisbane.
Yeah, is that
Been
right?
raining and a storming and a thundering. Yeah.
Ed was up there. Where did you... I mean, you get off the plane in Brisbane. What's your first stop?
Drink machine.
Drink machine.
Get a Fanta.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Get a straw.
Straight down to Ripley's on the Gold Coast.
Roll in style. You know what I mean? You walk down the street with a can of Fanta and a straw, curly straw, in Brisbane, you're a king. You are a king among men.
Walking with kings. How is the campaign? Would it be fair to say a stalled campaign for Mayor of the Gold Coast for Warwick Capper?
I don't think Warwick should give up, but at the same time, I wouldn't be investing in any mayoral type robes at this stage.
We were hoping he was going to go sans robes anyway, just sash with...
Well, you couldn't blame it. It's hot, and mink is particularly warm. So I think maybe just leave the stoles for now and go the sash.
Well, we are supposed to be talking to Warwick Capper tomorrow.
Well, my first question is going to be, where's the DVD, son? Because we ordered this porno months ago.
It still hasn't arrived.
Still hasn't arrived. Maybe they're putting the finishing touches on the ending.
Fancy Warwick Capper not being someone to trust. Fancy sending him money in the mail and something not.
You're right, actually.
Who'd have thought?
How do you know it hasn't been delivered and just been intercepted by another program?
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
That's got you
yes.
thinking.
Here we go.
That lot on your show.
Yeah,
They're
Ian's
looking very
skipping, I'm
happy
looking at
lately.
you.
That's Sully.
Oh.
He'd have that in his library.
Tell you what.
Then, of course, there's Yobbo's Up the Guts. I still haven't seen that down at my video shop.
Why not? Who's holding these things back?
Well, we'll contact him tomorrow and
Yeah,
find out what's going
We've got to
on.
get to the bottom of this.
Other big stories from up north. You know, there's often, over the 2 years we've been doing this show, there's been a lot of brothel sort of trouble.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, that kind of gear. I think Townsville, there was some brothel
Mad for a
trouble.
brothel.
But Melbourne has...
Townsville, mad for a brothel. The whole family can enjoy.
Listen to this from down south. Melbourne's biggest illegal brothel is set to be knocked down and replaced with a luxury hotel.
There are going to be some upset customers still showing up. Hey, guys. Oh, God.
A private detective hired by the City of Melbourne paid to have sex at the centre as part of the evidence-gathering process. That's been a feature of the 2 years of this show,
Ridiculous.
is that scam. There must be a queue of people at the council for that job.
Hey. Gosh, sorry, I ran here all the way from Adelaide. Is the job still going?
But here's a new wrinkle on that. Listen to this.
I've got a show reel.
Legal advice obtained by the City of Melbourne was that another private detective would have to go back to prove that the first provision of sex was not a one-off incident.
So true.
Okay, so it's set up like a brothel.
Yep.
You've gone in and paid for sex and had some sex.
Yep.
But it might have just been a huge misunderstanding.
So,
Because I've had people knock on my door, because you know I live near where a lot of the the working girls hang out.
Yeah.
Sometimes people knock on my door, and if they look nice, I'm like, cool, let's do it. You know, make a few bucks. And that was a one-off. So if you're right, Tony, you have to have someone come through and do it again.
Yeah, our producer has just taken off her headphones.
Sorry.
Check it out.
Leaving the room.
you're a really troubled person.
George is set to follow.
Look,
Am I kidding?
But that is an I mean, what is that job called at the council?
good, I think. Sought after. Fought over.
This tactic has enabled the City of Melbourne to close down 11 illegal brothels in just the last 3 years.
Goodness me.
That
Thorough.
guy, he must be a hero. Boy of the month, a huge smile on the face, and a string of busts to his credit. Let's talk about music.
Yes.
That Idol business. Do your kids watch that?
They do watch a bit of Idol, and they were a bit worried to see Parasite getting a hard... Or Tarasite, I should use her real name.
Parasite.
Getting a hard
Ouch.
time last night. They were getting stuck into it, saying she wasn't being her real self.
Right.
And the thought of anyone faking it up on commercial television really bothers me. To see somebody just pretending to be cross when they're not really, storming out, I couldn't stand it. So yeah, she horrified them. They're very moral people and they have a high code, and she breached it. And it was worrying. But the music's good. Her singing's good. I don't know what they want from her.
What was it last night? What was the theme of the night?
Oh, I'd have to have watched it with greater attention to answer that question, Ed. Can you send that stuff to me the night before on an email?
No worries, can do.
Is there a sense that it's fished out waters for Australian Idol?
I reckon it's done.
Well,
I think some of them have done quite well. Yeah, the Christians keep singing and producing good little
Yeah,
singers.
well, it's religious programming. That's why it's on a Sunday. That's how I understand it.
You're absolutely right.
But
And they're bringing Kyle in as the devil.
But-
Big conversion.
fair enough. Once, the half-decent gear is finished with, then we can get back to entertainment television the way it should be, potluck style.
Oh,
And once we exhume and reanimate the corpse of Bernard King, then I think we're ready for a new golden age in terms of talent-based television.
Quite serious question, Tone, because you know I'm desperate to bring Potluck back.
Yep.
Who would you have in your Bernard King role?
Chemical Ali, quickly, before they hang him. Get a series in. It'd be uncompromising. It'd be fun.
All right, well, there you go.
George McEncroe is with us, and she's brought in an idea for a phone topic.
well, I've got to tell you the story. Set the scene. Some months ago, I lost a bet to Ed Cavalier.
Oh, which one?
When it cost $100. I don't want to go back through the details because I was in trouble.
I remember he was
It
supposed
was a
to.
term that I dared him to use on air. He used it.
Right. Yep.
I lost $100.
In a song?
He said, "Don't worry about the $100. Pay me in kind." I said, "I'm a married woman. I'll pay you in food."
Oh, yeah.
Right. So that seemed to suit everybody. You
I'm
happy
happy
with
with
that
that.
arrangement?
I've got no use for money. I would have just eaten it
That's
anyway.
right. So, to my shame, I bought him food. Okay,
Yeah, it was-
so he had cannelloni,
It was delicious.
chicken salad sometimes, tuna pasta, and chicken soup. Which I very and I'd lovingly present it to you, didn't I? Sometimes
In
bit of cracked
Tupperware.
pepper, a bit of parsley, all good. Can you imagine then my heartbreak when I was listening to a promo going around the network, listening to you guys as a matter of fact, and I heard my soup being described like this by Harry Shearer.
Hi, Daniel. How are you?
Yeah. By the way, what's this?
Oh, this is some soup, Harry, which I...
It's really repulsive looking.
Okay, I'll just,
Sorry, Daniel.
pop
You
that
listen to
away.
the show. You know how this show works.
It's all about soup, isn't it?
It
A
is.
tub of really gelatinous looking soup.
Gelatinous.
You don't want to watch it move, Daniel. Count your blessings that it's radio.
Okay, so there are two things. One is, sure, not everyone in the world can have their soup critiqued by Harry Shearer.
That's true.
So if you're going to be dissed by anybody, if not be the big guy.
Yeah.
But where were you to my defence?
It's
Where
true.
were you to say,
That is true.
hands off my soup, it may look horrible, but it tastes delicious?
I said it off air.
Oh, yeah.
Cowardly custard.
How many times have I heard that?
Mr. Cowardly
I had Harry Shearer, after the show, I was, berating him for, 6 hours. His publicists were like, he's got to go. I'm like, not till I'm finished.
With the soup.
That corn is delicious in there.
I'd been swanning it about a bit, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm feeding Ed." I was
Yeah.
taking some sort of maternal pride in it. It's a bit sick, but that's an issue for me and my
that's
shrink.
cool.
I was loving that, and then to hear it dissed and go undefended. But then I thought I probably wasn't meant to hear that.
That's true.
Oh, I see. So the phone topic would be...
Eavesdropping. And what did you hear that you weren't meant to hear?
See, I have the best ever story like that. The best ever, but I can never tell it on air because...
Just change the names.
Tony.
I can't because you need to know who it is. But
Otherwise it's not funny.
I'll do the setup for you.
Okay.
Like maybe 15 years ago, I was
yeah.
staying at the Siebel Townhouse in Sydney.
Tony Bartichio dances.
No, I was watching TV. This really happened. Someone was on the TV.
Okay.
I turned the TV off and I could still hear that person talking.
Okay.
And they were in the next room.
Oh,
wow.
Like, how weird is that?
Okay.
Through the adjoining doors.
Okay.
And if I opened my side of the adjoining
Simon
doors...
Townsend.
No. I could hear quite clearly what was being said.
Okay.
Paid off later that night.
Really?
When that person and another celebrity and two friends came back to the hotel room and some business happened.
Hooly doolies.
I heard it all.
Oh, my goodness.
And the funniest part was they started watching Entertainment Tonight on the TV.
Yeah.
So I turned on Entertainment Tonight, turned the sound down, and it was like a live commentary track. As these so-called celebrities went to town on everyone who was coming off on the show with off-the-record stories.
Oh,
It was like
Tony.
the funniest night ever of entertainment. I can't say who it is.
Oh, just
There'll
give
be
us the initials of one.
Um,
Just say GE. I won't know it's
no,
Greg
I
Evans.
can't,
I
I
promise.
It's someone from an older generation, even than me.
Ding dong.
Okay, no.
Ernie.
Roy
No.
Moireen. No?
Roy Reed.
No.
But that was like, if
All right, that's pretty good, Tony.
that is a beauty,
That's
but
good.
I can't say any more
But
of
were
them
they
in trouble.
bagging you or your soup?
No, see?
Or any of your craft work?
Foodstuffs and condiments left
None of your
unscathed.
knitting? No.
Cliff Richard, he copped a mouthful, I can tell you that.
Man.
Eavesdropping accidents, that's what we're looking for.
Hi, Leanne.
Oh, hi, mate. How are you?
Excellent. What did you hear?
Well, I was in my sick bed. This is a few years ago. I was in my sick bed at home taking the day off work, and one of the girls I worked with had gone out to lunch with the boss and his wife, and her bag phoned me, her mobile phone went off in her handbag,
yes.
I answered the call, hi, you know, and heard the whole bagging me basically, or she could have sounded sicker when she phoned and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and I was devastated because I really thought this girl was a friend of mine. And anyway, needless to say, I bucked up and went to work the next day, and hit them up and said, I did catch the conversation yesterday, and like what conversation? Couldn't believe it, and I just relayed a few things, and even with the voice, when you first wake up in the morning and you have that froggy voice, and I'm so sick, I won't be able to come in today, and all this.
Because that voice you just did then sounded believable, Leanne. I thought you came down with something really quickly, and then you got over it. Thank you, Leanne. Lovely to talk to you.
That's a good example. Perfect.
Speak to you again soon. Why did I say that? Yeah. Oh, hi, Tim. How are you?
I met my neighbour. I haven't met before, and I went up and said hello to her one night, and then the next day I thought I'll take some drinks up, and she was on the phone, and I heard that she said that, the neighbour's all right, he's a bit all right, so I took full advantage of it.
Well
done.
Good on you.
I thought you were going to say the neighbour's a loser and I think he's stalking me.
Yeah.
And then you had to turn away with your beers and drink them by yourself.
And are you still together, Tim?
No. It was only a couple of night thing.
Yeah, Tim.
Well, at least there was a second night.
It was kind of a weekend thing, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it was,
good
Tim.
Ed will be getting that address off you during the song.
Woo!
That's one good.
No, Tim, come on. Now it's going to get fruity. Come on. All right, lovely to talk to you.
Kids coming out of school.
Sir. Hello, Chris. How are you?
It's not a matter of what I heard, it's how I heard it. I discovered when I was younger that I could tune my FM radio into the wireless home phone.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever someone would walk away with it, I could tune in, sit down with a thing of popcorn and listen casually to what was happening in the world.
Fantastic. What was the best thing that you heard?
Actually, it was all rather boring, so I'd wander in, do a bit of prelude to a fart gear, walk back out and see what the response was.
Oh, good on you. Good on you, Chris.
Most annoying thing about the house phone radio, too much talk, not enough rock.
Those conversations die in air checks. It's me, Tony Martin.
Anchored in old thinking.
We've got Ed Cavalier.
Anchored in the past.
And, of course, pushing buttons, Richard Marsland.
That's the guts of it.
Yeah.
Were you the guts?
I don't like the sound of that. Could you give him a shock, Mr. Marsland?
Sure thing.
Cop that, Mr. Rudd. I've had a fair amount of blood removed
You
today.
have, Tone?
Yeah, just for a bet. But, no, at the hospital, too much iron, as you know.
Isn't there a way to just extract the iron without taking all of the blood? I mean, I don't claim to be a blood dude, but surely there's a way of just, if we can liposuction fat from the arse and inject it into me face.
What about a giant magnet, a giant red cartoon horseshoe-shaped magnet? You think that would do the trick?
It might.
I have suggested that at the hospital.
How'd that go down?
Not too well, because, see, I'm sitting in one of these wards where it's people with too much iron having blood removed, and then next door, old ladies with not enough iron having it put back in.
That's just taunting,
I'm
isn't
going, just hook up some jumper leads. Let's cut out the middle, man. Just pump it straight over.
Can you do that?
I'm not sure if that's allowed, but the woman who was sitting next to me this morning announced to the entire ward at one point, you know, the only program I watch on television is Dancing with the Stars because there's no swearing. It's just good, clean fun. No swearing and Dancing with the Stars. That's probably why I haven't tuned in.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Could probably do with a bit more swearing. But then she's done that thing of, like, see if you can work out what she's saying here. She's going, I mean, it's amazing work, really.
Why is she doing this? Who's she telling?
She's just telling everyone in the ward as they're being as they're being drained.
Is this PA on?
But then she's gone into this. She's gone, and, you know, they do very well, these celebrities, considering how short a run they have to rehearse. I mean, proper ballroom dancers would take a couple of years to get to the point that those celebrities are. Although I must say the celebrities, there's a lot of foot faults, a lot of beginners areas, and then you realise, right, this is all about you being a ballroom dancer.
Here we go. Yeah.
I just demanded a bucket at that point. But there was no swearing.
No, absolutely right. I often go to hospital waiting rooms and just stand there going, I watch Police 10-7 because it's got swearing in it and no Daryl Summers.
And no good, clean fun. I hate that good, clean fun.
I do.
And then, I was supposed to be in here this morning to interview Warwick Capper.
Well, we all were.
Yeah.
And
I got in early.
Maybe if I lost a lot of blood, then that might reduce my brain
Beyond Warwick's level.
to below the plimsoll line, that I can conduct a coherent conversation with Warwick Capper.
Well, you try have a coherent conversation with the bloke, but he doesn't answer his phone.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Well, I suggested he might be making some deleted scenes for the video.
Right.
That's good stuff.
Because that's my first question. That's why he didn't answer his phone, because he knew my first question was going to be, hello, Warwick Capper, I sent you $60 and have received no videos. I'm getting more stuff from the Nigerians that I send money to. At least they keep sending emails after you give them some cash.
So you're saying Warwick's on the lam?
He's on the lam.
Okay.
So I've gone to Capper World to see what else maybe I can get for me $60.
Yes.
And I've got something in mind for our producer, Nikki Hamilton.
Have you just?
Look at this, Nikki. How would you like a maternity T-shirt that says Warwick Capper on the front?
Sounds good.
All right. That's
take
good
two.
stuff. Two?
Some of the best
Greedy.
acting I've ever heard in this studio. Okay, so we don't have our big-ass Warwick Capper exclusive to
No.
bust out at the top of the show.
No.
We need something new, though.
Yeah.
Is that fire still raging in California?
I think they've contained a lot of it, but still a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Well, over 500,000 acres of
Terrible.
Californian.
Yeah, Governor Schwarzenegger, he does a good job. He just shows up and drops a few catchphrases and moves on, doesn't he? And it seems to work. Let's cross there now. Mr. Governor, what can you do to reassure the people of California that their homes are safe?
All I know, right, is that, ladies and gentlemen, the flames have been terminated.
Right. Well, Mr. Governor, is that actually true? Because
Right, okay.
reports
All I know is they have been terminated.
Right, but surely there's still a danger that
There is
that
no
spot
danger
fire-
because the danger has been terminated.
Right, so the entire threat.
Has been terminated.
Mr. Governor, surely these people need more reassurance that.
Hasta la vista, conflagration. You see, there's no need for panic because we have terminated all of the threat of all the danger.
But what specifically have you achieved?
But people don't want to get too carried away with specific details, right? They just need to know that the danger has been terminated.
Mr. Governor, the temperatures are still rising. Winds are
Right.
unpredictable.
Okay,
You've
let me
got-
put it this way, right? The flames that you see that was burning up all the homesteads and stuff, right? All of that, right, will not be back.
Well, that's all very well.
No, it won't be back because it has been terminated.
So the fire
You
has...
have terminated. I don't have to say anything else because people are... The flames have been terminated.
What if they travel back through time?
No, there is no danger of the flames coming back through time. It doesn't make any sense that it would do that. We have already terminated the flames at the source.
Mr. Governor, will you be traveling through time
I am
at
not
any
going
stage?
to be traveling through... I'm the governor. I'm not going to travel through time. It doesn't make any sense.
But Governor, as
There's no need because the flames have been...
Have they been
I have
terminated?
explained...
You say they've
That
been
is right.
terminated,
There have
but
been...
spot fires
There
have
are
been-
no flames.
But what if in the future flames were to return?
Okay, here comes the flames, right? Okay, we're really hot. We're going to burn you up. I see them. I go, no. This ends here. I am terminating your right to burn all the properties to the ground.
Mr. Governor, are those flames on the horizon coming towards us right
Okay,
now?
I'm terminating this press conference.
Is that because the flames are threatening?
Has been terminated.
Mr. Governor, please, we'll just ask a question. Okay, no further comment from the Governor.
Wow.
We mentioned on the show the other day, Ed's, is the word disastrous coverage of the World Cup last year?
No, I had a great time. I ate currywurst.
Yeah.
That's a victory.
Yeah.
And he kept it down. I didn't think disastrous was right at all. I was there. I saw some football time.
It was an interesting period on the show last year. I've dragged some of those clips out of the file, so you want to hear it?
Sure thing.
Okay, hit it, Rich.
Pfister. I'm at a nightclub called Duplex in the centre of Prague. I'm at a bar. It's a Chinese-Irish rock bar called White Trash. We got to watch the sunrise at this nightclub next to the Berlin Wall. It was great.
And what was the nightclub?
I knew you'd say that, and I can't remember the name, so let's just...
I do know that club, Ed. It's called Ruthless Teutonic Efficiency. It's a lot of fun.
There it is.
Yeah.
We're going to go and see a Tool concert on Sunday night.
You mean James Blunt?
I haven't heard any Blunty since I've been over here.
You are joking.
Not one semi by the sea, you know. I went to a crunk night in the Czech Republic.
What's the quality of crunk like over there?
As I've said to you before, the best way to clear a room, any room at all, is just to get a German rap band to start crunking.
So you're still in Prague?
No, we leave tomorrow morning.
Haven't you said that like every day for the last week at the end of your cross?
We went to a really good reggae night and we thought we'd stick around for an extra night.
Let me go on like I
Pfister.
in that song. Let me go on. Big
Octave.
I know you're the one.
I'm still in Prague, but what happened to my Perfect Strangers intro?
Didn't test well, mate. No sizzle.
Oh, no traction in Adelaide, what did I tell you? We're watching Predator, dubbed into Czech. But my friend Pete has seen it 600 times, so he's doing the script for us as it goes along. We went to go and swim in the drain, as we said, which is the beach in the city.
Yep.
And when we got there, we realised that we'd made a mistake, and what it is, it's just a barge that they put sand on.
Wow. I mean, that will be all over the Australian tomorrow.
So we're off tomorrow because Australia's about to beat Italy tomorrow. You know that, Tone.
And you're going to be there, are you?
The game's in
Another country.
Pfister. Pfister. Pfister.
I just want to know whoever it is that's doing the voice and saying Pfister on those songs. I've never heard anyone say Pfister with less passion in my life.
What's the village that you're living in?
Possenhofen. We expected our hostel to be kind of near like the main street, as we'd been led to believe on the internet. 26 k's out from the city centre. That's not far. We canoed for 10 k's because we couldn't work out distance very well. And it's a cement table tennis table with a metal net.
Right.
You know I'm good at getting prizes. I've been looking for gifts for everybody. I went to a flea market today. All I can say is it involves a mirror and Don Johnson.
Trying to think of anything legal we could say at this point. Last week you said people were supposed to email you with challenges. For
yeah. What if has anyone come up with anything?
I thought you were supposed to check.
Oh, right, yeah, no, I'll get to that. Okay, good. Yeah,
someone's going to get turkey slapped.
Pfister. Pfister. Octave.
Oh, that hurt so much I might have to have a fisterectomy.
Oh, stop it. Stop it.
I had every possible sausage imaginable.
Yeah, but that was when you were still here in Australia, Ed.
You got Josh Kennedy, who looks like Chad Kruger from Nickelback playing for Australia, versus John Turturro from Barton Fink. How about that?
Fantastic.
We get like a global edition of CNN up here. The guy comes on and he's like, in the World Cup last night, the French have knocked out the Brazilians. Here are the scenes and the celebrations in France. And then there's a car burning, right? And some kids throwing rocks through a store while like a store owner pleads for them to stop. And over the top of it, the newsreader goes, a fitting celebration for a job well done.
Pfister. Pfister. Octave. Pfister. 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 Octave.
Mr. Dobalina doesn't get played nearly enough as it should.
He's not there?
Oh, yeah, he's not answering. He's got the answering machine on.
Is it? Hang on. Is it?
Oh, that's Josh. You know what to do.
Hello? Ed, the song's finished. It was Genesis. We're waiting for more nuggets of information about the World Cup. Ed, several of your ex-girlfriends have called. Now that you're on the radio, they want to move in with you. That's right. I'm talking about it on the radio, Ed. Call us.
I was trying to catch up with him over there. I wanted to have a meal with him or something.
That's the best way to get him, usually.
Well, actually, you mightn't have been to Germany, Tony. Maybe a meal in Germany is probably not the best way to catch up with somebody.
Could I have less umlauts with my Gestinkel?
I have eaten schnitzel that belong on the nose of the space shuttle.
Okay, have you got any more important football information?
See, this is the problem, Tone. Ask me one question, I'm sweet. Two, and I'm in a world of trouble.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Octave Pfister.
those heady days of 2006.
Get this at the new time of 2 o'clock.
Or in Adelaide, 3 o'clock.
On the Triple M network.